What's up everyone, this is Beacock from Leakcast. I'd like to officially welcome you to our first video. In the future, our channel consists of many other things, but to start, we thought it was best to make a tutorial with one of our favorite characters. First off, I'll cover masteries with you guys. On Lux, I run 9021 masteries. I grab Magic Pen in offense, and in utility, I focus on cooldown reduction on both my summoner spells, as well as on basic abilities. For runes, I go for flat AP Quints and yellows to assist my harass game early on. I grab Magic Pen reds, as well as flat CDR blues. Two other options would be to get cooldown per level blues, as well as mana per level yellows. Lux tends to need the mana all game long, and with long cooldowns on most of her abilities, the CDR per level blues could help you more in the late game. For summoner spells, I run Teleport and Flash. Teleport is used to get around the map quickly and to use my ultimate when needed, and Flash is an all-around great ability that can both be used offensively as well as defensively. Now we'll move on to Lux's basic abilities. Lux's Q ability is Light Binding. Lux releases a sphere of light that binds and deals damage to up to 2 enemy units, dealing 50% effect to the second unit struck. In addition to doing damage to both units, Lux also snares the first unit for 2 seconds and the second for 1 second. This ability is great for setting up your combo, as well as kiting your enemies around the map. Lux's next ability is Prismatic Barrier. Lux throws her wand and burns the light around any friendly champion target it touches, protecting them from enemy damage. You're going to want to use this ability anytime you're getting harassed or taking damage from enemies. As you can see, when you first throw it out, it gives you an initial shield, and when it comes back to you, it refreshes that shield again. This works both on you as well as your allies. You can see in this clip I'm laning against Urgot, who normally is really hard to lane against. However, with Lux's W, it can actually make it really easy. First off, I slip up and I let Urgot hit me with his E, which is never good because then he can lock on me with his Q. As soon as he hits me with his E, I automatically throw out my W in anticipation of him throwing out his Qs right afterward. The initial shield from the W shields the first Q that he hits me with, and then as the shield returns, it shields the second Q that he hits me with, basically giving me like no damage. Lux's E ability is Lucent Singularity. Lux fires an anomaly of twisted light to an area which slows nearby enemies. Lux can detonate it to damage enemies in the area of effect. In addition to this ability being the first one that you'll max, it's also used for farming, kiting, as well as scouting. Lux's ultimate is Finalis Vuniken. After a short charge, Lux fires a beam of light that deals damage to all targets in the area. This ability is what makes Lux Lux. It is awesome. It probably has one of the shortest cooldowns in the game for an ultimate, and you want to throw it down whenever you have it up. When you're in team fights and you have your ultimate up, you want to make sure that you aim your ultimate so you can hit most or all of the enemy champions. You can see in this clip that the ult has a pretty lenient hitbox. I kind of fire it ahead in anticipation that Cassiopeia is going to walk forward, and she walks a little bit behind it, but it still decides to hit her. And finally, we'll talk about Lux's passive. You may have been noticing that every time I cast a spell on an enemy champion or a minion, that their face kind of starts glowing with some rainbow stuff. That's actually considered a charge on Lux, and what her passive does is that anytime you cast a spell onto someone or something, your next auto attack will deal bonus damage to that opponent. Which leads us into Lux's full combo. You want to start by throwing out your Q and binding your target. Then after that you auto attack, and immediately afterwards you throw out your E on that target again. Now to finish off your combo, you don't need to auto attack again because your ult will actually set off the charge that your E just created. Now if you don't have the time, or if you don't have the mana to throw out your full combo, you can simply just throw out a Q and then follow it up with your ult, and that normally does enough damage to where it compensates for itself. Plus the cooldown on your ult is so low you'll probably have no regrets anyway. Next, let's talk about what items to get with Lux. With Lux, I like to start with Adorn's Ring. However, if you feel more comfortable, you can grab a Mana Crystal and 2 Health Potions. From there, you want to start rushing a Catalyst to help Lux's sustainability in lane. After that, I normally start to work on cooldown reduction boots to help with my ultimate's cooldown, as well as my long cooldown on my other abilities. From there, I normally finish up Rod of Ages and then rush a Death Cap to round out my AP. Normally, the game doesn't go longer than this, but if it does, I'd suggest building a Banshee's Veil for defense. However, if you're stomping face and you want to use your ultimate more and more, you can build a Morello's Evil Tone to max out your cooldown. And don't forget, if the enemy team is building magic resistance, to invest in some magic penetration. Another popular item that many people tell you to get as Lux is Lich's Bane. The reason I don't invest in Lich's Bane is because as a caster, you kind of want to be further away from your opponents as to take less damage. And your role as Lux is kiting people around, you normally don't have time to stop and auto attack people. Alright guys, that's going to do it for our first tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. I know I enjoyed making this video. It was freaking sweet for our first one in my opinion. From here on out, me and Ragnos are going to definitely upload a lot more videos, hopefully some more tutorials, and once spectator mode comes out, we're going to do lots of casts. If you guys like the video, subscribe above. If you have suggestions on a next video, or if you want us to actually do a different tutorial on someone else, leave a comment below. And please tell us what we can improve on, or what I can improve on, because it's my first time, and I know you guys definitely have some great opinions. For the lead cast, this is Beacock, and I'm signing out. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.